everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another video today. Happy Thursday and happy first day of school to me. I am in my house alone for the first time in 3 months, and it feels, I know I'm gonna be bored eventually, but it feels pretty good right now. So today I'm coming at you guys with several breaking news stories that have come out. Literally yesterday, so much information came out in regards to several different clinical studies, several different trial lawsuit updates. A lot of things came out yesterday, and I'm really excited to break it all down and share everything with you. So the main topics of today's video are going to be Lilly's disappointing results in terms of Orforgliprone. We're going to be talking about a new heart-related clinical trial that came out, Lilly versus Mochi case, and even some new data suggesting that breastfeeding moms might be able to continue to take their GLP-1 while they're breastfeeding. So let's go ahead and jump into it because we have a lot to go over, as you can tell. The first thing that we are going to be talking about is Eli Lilly's disappointing results in terms of their once daily pill Orforgliprone. Now, yesterday these results came out, and as a result of these results, Lilly's stock took a major 7% plunge yesterday, which is a pretty big thing. One analyst called it a rare miss that Lilly typically does not have, and that the stock market is reacting to this rare miss that they will bounce back from. But let's go ahead and go over what exactly happened. So over the 72-week period, patients taking the Orforgliprone lost 9.1% more of their body weight than those that were on the placebo pill did, okay? Now, what's disappointing about this is that Wegovy, which is the big competitor of Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk makes Wegovy, produces 12 to 13% weight loss over the same time period. Now, this is big because it shows in every other study that has been done, Eli Lilly's weight loss products have beat out Novo Nordisk by a lot, okay? And I know you could argue that there's the difference that this is a pill and Wegovy is the once weekly shot, and nobody has so far been successful making a once daily pill. You could obviously have that argument, but this was disappointing news for investors, and they showed that in the 7% stock drop that happened yesterday. The results also showed, which might even be a bigger kind of issue, is that more patients dropped out of the Orforgliprone clinical study because of side effects than did for Wegovy. Now, if you know anything about GLP-1s, and you know that semaglutide, which is the main ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy, has been known to have worse side effects than tirzepatide. Typically, somebody that's on tirzepatide experiences more weight loss and less side effects, which is why it has been like king in the weight loss GLP-1 world for the past several years. Now we have an Eli Lilly product, Orforgliprone, that is having more people drop out of it than did even the Wegovy people, which means the side effects are probably pretty bad. So in the Orforgliprone study, 5.1% to 10.3%, which was dependent on dosage. The higher the dosage, more people dropped out, meaning 10% of people were dropping out on the higher doses because of the bad side effects on the Orforgliprone once daily pill. Compared to, now the difference isn't great. So the Wegovy trial produced a 7% dropout of people. So if you think of it that way, then it's probably actually about the same, 5% to 10 and then 7%. But that's not what we want to do, right? We don't want to create new GLP-1s that are producing the same type of side effects as the one with bad side effects does. You know what I'm saying? So these were not good news for Lilly yesterday. And like I said, the stock market reacted to that. What they're going to do now, what they're going to do going forward with Orforgliprone is still to be determined. But as somebody who was at one point considering that for when I really didn't want to do injections anymore, which I don't mind them, but I was toying with the idea of trying a once daily pill. This definitely drives me away from that, not because of the weight loss, because I've already lost the weight that I want to lose, mostly because of the side effects, because side effects are something that I don't necessarily deal with anymore, and I don't want to. So that's the first thing. Not the best news for Lilly. Now let's move on to some better news for Eli Lilly, the heart clinical trial results that came out. This is really, really interesting, and I cannot wait to share this with you guys. So in order to fully understand the difference, we're gonna go back to 2019 when there was a trial called the Rewind trial. And this trial specifically looked at Trulicity and its decreased cardiovascular benefits or risks in patients with diabetes. So all 9,900 patients in the Rewind trial in 2019 were type 2 diabetic, okay? Now, what they look at specifically is what they call the MACE-3 in the cardiology world. The MACE-3 are cardiovascular death, non-fatal heart attack, and non-fatal stroke. So those were the three specific things that they were looking at within the trial in 2019. Of the results of the 9,900 patients that were in the clinical trial, they showed a 12% reduction in the MACE-3. So again, cardiovascular death, non-fatal heart attack, non-fatal stroke. 12% reduction with Trulicity. Now, that's a pretty good amount if you ask me, right? Like I'm happy with that if I just have to take a shot and on Trulicity. Is Trulicity a shot or a pill? It's a shot, right? I think it's a shot. And reduce my risk of cardiovascular disease by 12% would be pretty cool, right? Now we have tirzepatide and Mounjaro. And the study that was done in 2024 was called the SURPASS-CVOT. So it's SURPASS-CVOT. That study was done in 2024 and the results were just released. This study looked at 13,539 patients that were type 2 diabetic, so the same thing as 2019, and they already had some type of established cardiovascular disease, okay? Again, we looked at the MACE-3, cardiovascular death, non-fatal heart attack, non-fatal stroke. That is the top three things that they looked at in both of these studies. The Mounjaro tirzepatide results showed a 20% reduction of the MACE-3. 20% less chance of having cardiovascular death, non-fatal heart attack, non-fatal stroke than somebody who was not on it. And that is an 8% increase from the reduction capabilities of Trulicity, which is pretty cool, right? But it does not even stop there. We know that there are so many clinical benefits of a GLP-1 that are currently being studied or, literal clinical trials coming out every single day talking about all of the benefits. But this study actually showed us quite a few just like in one little study. So we have the 20% reduction of the MACE-3. We have an A1C reduction of 2 times the amount that was produced in the Trulicity trial. So 2 times more reduction of A1C than in the clinical trial of Trulicity. It also showed a 15-pound increased weight loss in obese patients, again, versus the Trulicity trial, Trulicity trial in 2019. And it showed vast improvement on kidney function for the patients included in this trial. Not all 13,539 of them had kidney problems, but of the ones that did, it showed significant improvement in their kidney disease. How cool is that? I've always been team tirzepatide, even though Eli Lilly kind of makes me a little mad and it's like a love-hate relationship. But this is really cool, especially for these cardiovascular benefits. We know that Ozempic and Wegovy have been producing really good cardiovascular benefits for the last year or so. Wegovy is actually approved for cardiovascular treatments and is prescribed in a lot of cardiology offices around the country. I mentioned before that some of the other orderly affiliates are cardiology PAs and talk often about how often they prescribe it for cardiology benefits, which I think is so cool. So now we know that Wegovy can do it and Mounjaro tirzepatide might even do it better, which would be obviously pretty cool. Now, moving on to topic number 3, which is the Lilly versus Mochi lawsuit. I wasn't even sure if I was going to touch on this because that whole lawsuit, the whole Mochi thing is a whole thing, right? Like we all kind of know all of the accusations that have been made against Mochi. We know that allegedly Dr. Myra, or not allegedly, we know that Dr. Myra was not a practicing licensed physician. We know all of these things. And Lilly filed a lawsuit, again, as we most know, as we most of us know. Words are tangling. Lilly filed a lawsuit against Mochi claiming false advertising and claiming that the two main claims they made in their lawsuit were false advertising and that they were not following corporate medicine practices, okay? Now, originally when Lilly filed this lawsuit, Mochi came back and said, we want this lawsuit dropped. You don't have a case. Then Lilly came back again and said, we do have a case and we want this to go to trial. So they've kind of been having this like back and forth over the past couple of months. And now Mochi again has come back and said, no, really, you don't have a case and this is why. And they've sort of provided a lot more information. So essentially this document is 60 pages long. It's a lot to read if you want to read it, but it really, the main portion of it highlights the fact that in this case, Lilly is acting as a regulator, not a competition, which is not in their scope of practice, right? So Mochi is claiming that this issue should be handled either by the FDA or by the California Board of Medicine. So Mochi's not coming out and saying we didn't do anything wrong necessarily. What they're saying is this is not being handled, like this lawsuit that Lilly is claiming should not have come at us from a competition place, right? Like the FDA should have brought it, or the California Board of Medicine should have brought it, not a pharmaceutical company. So they're claiming that Lilly doesn't have a case because they're acting as a regulator, which is not in their jurisdiction of practice to do. They're also claiming, which is pretty, I said this in the beginning, the original Reddit post that Eli Lilly claimed in their original lawsuit where it had all of that information, which was just like a total bombshell in and of itself, where it talked about Dr. Myra and it even cited the downsized, we know that. But that original Reddit post was made during the shortage. So the one that was cited in the original Lilly lawsuit that they filed. And what Mochi is claiming is that was legal at that time to advertise it because you didn't have any stock. And so that was before the shortage was declared over. That was before the FDA removed tirzepatide from the drug shortage list. And so they're claiming that there's no case against them. I find this really interesting. I think it's a little bit of a loophole. I think it's similar to me how Empower is challenging the patent. And then, well, that's a whole thing too. Lilly dropped the lawsuit and then refiled it on the same day. But Mochi isn't necessarily claiming in this no wrongdoing, except for on that Reddit post. Essentially what they're saying is you have no cause or right to sue me because this isn't something you should be handling. This isn't a law courtroom thing. This is a FDA medicinal board thing. So I find that really interesting. I want to know what your thoughts are always down below on that. Mochi, I do know, is still in practice and they're still, you know, doing things and making medicine. And there's a lot of you, I think, that use Mochi. And so if you have any updates on that, like have things changed with Mochi? I would love to know what you're seeing as a Mochi customer. Please let us all know down below, because I am not a Mochi customer. And so I don't know like the ins and outs of it. And then the people that I did know that were Mochi customers are not any longer. They have gone elsewhere. So would love to hear about that. Now, the last thing that I have to talk about is, again, pretty cool. And it speaks about breastfeeding mothers. So there was a study that was done. I will try and link it down below. I actually found a obstetrician, or I think she's a nurse at an obstetrician's office, that on TikTok that was posting about the study, and she posted the screenshot of it. And so I don't have a ton of information on this one. It's going to be sort of just a brief, hey, I saw this and I think it's cool. But essentially, semaglutide was studied in the use of breastfeeding mothers. And what these mothers did is that they donated breast milk. They would pump and donate some at the 4-hour mark, the 12-hour mark, and the 24-hour mark after taking an injection, okay? In the breast milk that was donated in the study and tested, none of it had any trace of semaglutide in the breast milk. So what that's telling us, it's similar to how, you know, people say, can you drink while you're breastfeeding, and they test breast milk for alcohol levels. It's the same type of thing. They're testing the breast milk for levels of semaglutide specifically, not tirzepatide, and there was none found. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really, could be really good news for postpartum mothers, right? That are looking to jump on a weight loss journey or a GLP-1 journey soon after giving birth. I just think that's really cool. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you as a breastfeeding mom to go take a GLP-1. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. Please talk to your own doctor. But you know, it's a fun little tidbit of something that's being studied in addition to all of the other benefits of a GLP-1. I thought that was pretty cool. So I thought I would mention it here. But again, go talk to your doctor about it. Don't just be like, oh, Brittany said that it doesn't transfer, so I'm gonna go take a GLP-1. Obviously, always talk to your doctor, friends. Okay, so I think that's all the main news stories that I have for you guys today. I am sure there are more, but these are the 3 that I gathered that I really wanted to touch on with you guys today and talk about with you. And I'm pretty excited to be back in my normal filming space and my normal filming schedule and having the time to research more and really dive more into a lot of these topics. So lots of good content coming soon for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Links to everything will be down below. The Facebook group, we have a lot of fun over there. It's a free encouragement Facebook group, as well as a link to Orderly Meds and I think my Amazon, if you need like a case, a file case or anything else is down there as well. So check all of that out. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.